Okay, so this week we are playing at the Sports Dome. Let's see if you can see behind me. It is a huge indoor field with, let's see, an inflated top. It allows us to wear armor, although it's still winter, so a lot of people don't have all their armor out. And it gives us artificial turf to play on. So I am in my toe shoes. I like being able to run in these. I feel like I get improved mobility. So in a second, I'm going to introduce you to our Reeves and explain a little bit about the Razor. He is acting as our Reeve for the game. It's basically a referee. He will be following this game and keeping track of the players and calling out things that maybe they've missed or calling out points to help keep the game going. Are also the people that you should be asking questions if you are not sure about the rules of play or about specific rules of your class or what abilities do if somebody's used an ability on you. Here's the start of the game. This is a zombie game. The players are militia. They're trying to capture and defend points. And the zombies get a self-heal. Some people will be acting ridiculous like they're zombies. I guess zombies can capture points too. The players don't get abilities for this game, so that keeps it simple. They just get their weapons. The zombies only get the single short sword. So, but they also get self-heals and some other endurance things that keep them going. There's Mara. She's got her polearm going. Polearms are really notoriously hard to get in on. There's Dan in his chainmail with his sword and shield. He usually plays warrior. He's actually in my house. Dan's defending usually he would be warrior. Amanda would be assassin, but he was defending her from the incoming zombies while she captured the point to increase their team score. The zombies are reviving at what is called Nirvana. There is a 30-second death count, and then players return to play on the field after they've died. That is true for everybody. Curious, you can see pockets out there with the shoulder plates and the long sort of tunic tabard. It's actually, I think, a cloth armor, and the red sword. He is notorious for being able to sneak around behind enemy lines because these are more battle, like skirmish-sized battle games with our winter numbers. He can sneak around often enemy lines, get behind people, and kill a few people at once before being caught and chased off. We've got Mara defending Amanda while she tries to take a point. Was she successful? Amanda, did you get that point? So close! Got one of the zombies who just captured a point. Brat ran up on him. She's in the blue and black. Cuddleow usually plays a warlock, sorcerer of some sort. He's been legged. Cuddleow, are you dead? No. Or did you self-heal, or were you legged? Regeneration. Right, because the zombies get regeneration. Yes. So he'd been legged. He had to fight on his knees, but then the zombie team gets regeneration even though they don't get their choice of weapons. There we go. This guy, zombie, just ran behind enemy lines to take care of that guy that was legged. He got chased off and killed by the enemy team that was defending the legged gentleman. So Amanda is playing assassin. She's taking that point back. Well, she's not playing assassin for this game, but usually plays assassin. She also has been using throwies. Assassins get the advantage of small thrown weapons, which she gets to keep for this game since she's not on the zombie team. And the throwing weapons count as a 1-point strike against anything they hit. Arrows have slightly different rules. Arrows can do things like armor breaking and poison and things like that, depending on whether you're playing archer or whether you're playing another class using just plain arrows. Re-entering the field with her polearm, chasing off the zombies from their point that they'd captured. Pockets goes after Mara. He gets in up on her polearm. And then he's dead. I don't think the zombies get armor. There's Amanda grabbing her, throwing weapons. They're getting Another point back. Amanda's, well, Mara. Those are both Amanda. This is Nikki. This is Mara. Mara was defending that point while he got another capture over here. Zombies are pressing the backfield. Brat circling around. Brat has also done the thing where she charges around enemy lines and gets people in the back, so she would be another one to watch for that. She now usually plays Scout with a Madu, which is a shield with strike legal ends on it, which means she can block and also strike. In Amped Guard, shield bashing and shield strikes are not actually allowed, but the Madu is an exception to that rule with the strike legal ends that look like sort of foam swords on either end. Razor, he just did a walk around the field. Basically, he follows the battles to make sure everything is happening fairly, also to call out and track points that are gained or lost, because that determines which side wins. In Amped Guard, there's no real, there's the competitive nature or the competition of a single game, but because players switch who they're teamed with between each game, and because each week you have new battles, the competition is more specific to the game they're playing for the duration of that game. So there's no huge prize or big honor or championship regarding the games. The games are just focused on developing teamwork and camaraderie between all of the Amped Guard players, and both respect for your opponent and also respect for your team. There's Richter. On the sidelines, you can see some of the other players who have opted out of this game, or are preparing for the next game, but are conversing with each other or reading books, keeping an eye on everybody's stuff. I mean, we're all friends and family here. Sometimes, when families come, the kids would be playing on the sidelines over there, like you saw last week. That's probably the best game to have started with, just because aside from the self-heal the zombies get, there's no complex rules for why people aren't moving or why people just walk off dead even though they weren't struck with a sword. Once you incorporate the rest of the magic and abilities with the game, people can step out of play so they can't be struck and then choose when they return to play. They can teleport, they can freeze other players. What Magic brings to a physical game like this is they can situationally alter the rules of play for the benefit of their team and the disadvantage of the other team. It also gives players who maybe don't want to run around swinging all the time the chance to still use their skills and their quick thinking and fast talking to be a part of a very team-oriented and physically engaging game. Traditionally, we would call a game without most of those special abilities a militia game. That means armor still counts, but all the abilities do not. He is a zombie. To heal, he can heal, and to heal, he can also steal life essence, which I think, does that give him his heal back?
Yes.
When he steals life essence?
It actually heals him if he doesn't.
Per our Reeve.
Yeah. No, that's how Steal Life works.
This is why you ask the Reeves things.
That is how Steal Life works. It either heals you or it charges one ability.
There you
Which
go.
in the zombies' case would be the one that lets them disappear when they die.
There you go. So we've got the players with no abilities, the zombies with no armor, but with steal life, disappearing when they die, and their self-heal. Amanda is on the ball this game. Nikki. I don't know if you've caught how many times she's run around and captured these points. So to capture a point, she has to run up on it. And then typically to do it quickly, you count as loud as possible and as fast as possible. You make yourself as small a target as possible. For these points, you have to count to 10. Yep. The other team charged in on him to stop him from taking that point from them. So you'd make yourself as small as possible, count as fast as possible. And in this particular game, and in a lot of capture games, you would capture 5 or capture 10. That's a traditional count that I've seen fairly often in the past several years. He's trying to take that point from them. Oh, there you go. Mickey stopped him from capturing it with a throwing weapon. Good shot. The Reeve has just called a reset, which means people are switching sides. So now the team that had the armor and the special weapons can only use a short sword, and they get their disappearing ability and their heal ability, Steal Life Essence. I would have to ask the Reeve again about Steal Life Essence, because I'm pretty sure it curses somebody and makes it so that they can't be rezzed, but in this particular game it doesn't matter because the other team doesn't have healers. So this is Freya. She's typically a Ravenstone Park player. She comes and visits us because she is a proud member of House Blackwater with yours truly and Hars Blackwater, the one and only. I have a quick Reeve question.
Yes.
Steal Life Essence, does that normally curse somebody and make it so they can't be rezzed without a greater res?
Yes.
There you go. This is why we have Reeves. So you'll see that some of the people that were in armor on the opposite team are now still wearing it, but zombies don't actually get armor. They're just leaving it on because chainmail is quite heavy, as is other pieces of armor. Some people have changed. You'll note that Pockets is, now that he's not a zombie, dual wielding and wearing leather scale as well as his plates, which gives him that armor advantage. Pockets started out, I believe, as an assassin class. Another thing to note is the players that are using Nerf guns, this is a range-specific rule. It's only legal in Amtgard. In Northreach right now, it won't continue past this year. We have a Star Wars-themed rain, and so you're allowed to use Nerf guns in place of small throwies and archery things, I think, and they count as arrows. You're using the large Nerf darts just to keep it fairly safe. Here we have someone using their traditional bow and arrow instead of a Nerf gun. I think a lot of our archers are fairly proud of what they do and enjoy the opportunity to use their bow and arrow in a skirmish style situation. One thing you'll note is our games are more like skirmish games, but when you get to go to like a national event or just a huge day that involves all the parks from throughout Alaska, you'll see games that are more like real life battles with lines, with a hail of arrows when it starts. People are more cautious about the approach. It's a lot more difficult to get behind enemy lines to strike your targets. He chased down the archer to protect his teammates from him. Archers have the advantage of being able to snipe people from the back lines. So as a zombie, she's able to heal herself after losing her arm. She had someone chasing her down. So she ran, and then when she got away, she healed herself real quick and then kept. To note, the zombies are actually getting a swift heal. So Swift, the white light of healing, hath healed thee. Typically, the heal spell is a lot longer than that. I have been working on healing class after playing Assassin for years. It has been an interesting endeavor. I never realized how hard it is to shout a whole bunch of organized words at somebody who is charging you with a weapon. Or to shout a whole lot of words to heal somebody while being charged or attacked to try and stop you from healing them. Perhaps I will do videos for each of the classes and at some point go over that. But right now we'll just keep it to the game so you can kind of see what's going on. Pockets over here capturing a point. Someone's running up to stop him. He defended. I think she's dead. Another player ran in. He killed him. The zombies unfortunately don't get more. We've got a zombie or two squaring up with Pockets, who's wearing a bit of armor, as you saw just a moment ago. It's harder to kill because he can soak up those points, keep doing what he's doing while defending himself. Captured a point. He's moving around the back lines, recharging his bow and arrow, I guess I should say. But again, the Nerf guns will only be for this next year, for this reign. That is not a traditional weapon allowed in Amtgard, and that's certainly not a weapon you could use in Amtgard through the rest of the United States. It is just through Northreach right now in Alaska, because our rain theme is a Star Wars theme. You will also see in some of the videos in the future, maybe later today, depending on who comes, people dressing up as Jedi. Just for fun. Zombie Mara. She just said nobody gets this point. Now she is chasing this guy down. She almost got to him, but he picked up on that quick. Here we've got so he just kind of got ganged up on by the zombies. Mara distracted him when she meant to sneak up on him, and then Alora went in for the kill. He tried to warn his teammate. It was not in time. He is now doing his 30-second death count at the back before he can rejoin play. Something to note, in most cases, armor only protects the area that it covers. So even if that gentleman is wearing leather armor, if it is not covering his arms and he does not have cloth armor on his arms, then in fact, it does not count as armor on his arms. Something that can happen from time to time, I don't know if it's happening right now, it might be, is your players can die in different times on your team, and the downside of that is they can end up trickling out onto the field one at a time to be picked off by the enemy team. So sometimes there is some advantage to hanging back and waiting briefly to make sure that you can all come back kind of all out in force. Maybe you'd respawn by your Nirvana, but you would wait for your other teammates to also respawn before proceeding across the field to go after objectives or other players. Here you have 4 of them coming out all together. They've got one of their teammates out here legged, fighting a legged zombie who just got armed. Basically a strike hit her on the arm, so she lost her arm. If it happened to her sword arm, she would have to switch her sword to her other hand. I'm sort of wondering, did you lose an arm and a leg? All right. So there's a rule I didn't know. Typically in a game, if you lost an arm and a leg, you would be dead.
The limbless zombie.
But here, apparently for this zombie game in particular, zombies can lose all of their limbs, but they can only die with body shots. So we have a lot of people losing their limbs, like this zombie over here, that can't do anything until they're stabbed in the torso or until they heal themselves with their swift heal. So what you probably gathered from all of this is that the biggest rule of the game is being a good sport and being friendly and open and acting as a team. We are a community of friends who all like nerd stuff and also like to get out every week and practice our archery, practice our swordplay, practice our quick thinking, and help each other out. Like, a lot of our members carpool with each other and meet each other, like, for after Northreach activities. We all become like family, and everyone is welcome. We're a big family here in Northreach in Alaska, and we welcome you to join us as well anytime you want. I will keep these videos going. Right now, the game is Capture the Flag. I will do my best to keep my team alive, remember my spells. I'm a little new at this. I'm used to playing Assassin. But right now, I'm out. And it's this game and then Afterguard. Thanks for watching. And be sure to tune in next week for more rules of play and more about Amtgard Northreach. Thanks. Bye.